thought it was too harsh, but what happens if I speak up now? Will they come after my mom? I can't take the chance. Magistrate tells me it's death. They're gonna strip me down and tie me to those things. And they're gonna let the cold do its work. I wonder if it'll hurt.
Wish I could tell you it won't, kid, but that'd be a lie.
No, I was never no desperado. Don't rightly know why I let myself get caught up in this. But if I'm to die, I'd at least like to do that right. I'm gonna do that like a man. Magistrate's a hard man. I wish I could believe it'd work. I'd do anything for someone who could get me free without hurting anybody in the process. Guess I don't have any money to give you, but I'd pay you back in hard work, if you'll have me. I'm used to hard work around the homestead, and I ain't too bad with a gun either. My folks made sure I could hunt and fight. I always dreamed of coming to the big city and being a newspaper man. You know, interviewing people, telling the truth about how things really are. Sure didn't turn out like I hoped. Nice talking to you.
This kid's going in the pillories next.
Howdy, Judge. How's your heart? Still colder than a well-digger's ass?
Marshal Quan, impertinent as ever, I see. Rangers, I am Magistrate Silas Watkins. I have heard of your arrival, partly from the confessions of the Dorsey Raiders. You'll be pleased to know that I sentenced them to death for their part in the attack on the city and your convoy. They are the only instrument of justice we need. Serious offenders die by exposure. Sometimes I might grant a reprieve after frostbiters claim their extremities. Oh, to the contrary. It is more merciful than the punishments meted out by the mountain clans or the gangs of the plains. If we did any less, they would see our nation as weak. And in Colorado, weakness is death. As much as we might long for the world before the bombs, when justice was not so cruel, that is not the world we inhabit.
And let's be honest, Judge. You kinda like it too, don't you?
No, I do not. I only do what the law commands.
And since you're the law around here, I guess you're your own boss.
I follow principles set forth at the second founding of this city, as you know very well. Without our laws and the penalties to enforce them, we're no better than the Wastelanders. For some offenses, we have a work camp on the plains. I don't approve of their methods, but it's outside my jurisdiction. Minor infractions, like public drunkenness or disorderly conduct, are punished by a short stay in the sheriff's lockup. Proceed. His crimes are still severe. He was part of the Dorsey uprising. He caused significant property damage. His actions diverted marshals from responding to reports of attacks, magnifying the harm the Dorseys were able to inflict. Argue a case, and I might show lenience. You wish to compensate the city and the owners of the damaged properties for their losses. I can facilitate that. That's the price in Colorado dollars. Understand that the law cannot wait until you have the means to pay. The boy will go to the pillory soon. His time is short. My concern cannot be for his mother. It can only be for the law. Regrettable, but he chose this path, not I. Mercy. I do not see the word in my law books. The Patriarch has charged me to dispense justice, not mercy. Proceed. Indeed. Rangers, what brings you here? As I said, you can argue his case. Convince me to set him free, and I will do so. I am not certain you truly understand the Patriarch's justice, but your words ring true. Perhaps death is too severe a punishment. This is irregular, but it is within my powers to grant you full custody of Austin Peace. Any further infractions he may commit are the Ranger's responsibility. I would recommend keeping him out of trouble. You should inform the boy. Best he hears the good news from you.
Still here. Not looking forward to what comes next. What? Are you serious? You really saved my life and I get to be a ranger? Soon as they let me free, I'm going straight to your headquarters. I'll do whatever you need me to do. Clean guns, scrub toilets, you name it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Deluge of blood is coming for you all!
We ain't gonna beg for our lives! We ain't weak like you!
If it's too dangerous for you, Marshals, maybe I should go in there myself. Sheriff Daisy! Sheriff!
Miss, please.
I've had enough of this. Why won't you people do anything? Deputy, how long is the sheriff going to be busy?
As long as it takes, Miss Wesson. You know the trouble that's gone down.
I do know. My family's in trouble right now. That's why it's so urgent I talk to the sheriff.
She's doing everything she can, miss. If you could just wait here, you'll be the first to know when we know.
Ah, Marshals. Finally. I was beginning to think you were never going to help. Hold on now. You aren't marshals. You look like ruffians. Are you here to see the sheriff? Well, I'm first. I've been waiting here on tenterhooks for an hour. It's maddening. My family has been kidnapped by those no-good Dorseys, and the marshals will give me no answers about their situation. They won't even speak to me. My name is Lucia Wesson, daughter of Percival Wesson and Maria Reyes of the 100 Families. But now they and my little brother have been kidnapped by those good-for-nothing Dorseys, and I fear for their lives. That may be, but my family is one of the leading families of Colorado Springs. We have been longtime allies of the Patriarch and supporters of all he stands for. Surely that should be given some consideration. We are the founding families of Colorado Springs, descended from the survivalists who came together after the deluge of fire and helped the Patriarch build a stronger Colorado. I'm proud to trace my lineage back before the war on both sides of my family. I suppose not. We are all equal in the eyes of God, as they say. I am just frustrated. That is all. It doesn't seem that anything is being done. Someone let the Dorseys into town, and the savages have taken my family hostage, along with a good many others, and retreated to the Garden of the Gods. I came here to demand that Sheriff Daisy immediately mount an expedition to save them, but her marshals keep putting me off. No good traitors, that's what they are. Used to be 100 families, like us, but rotten. Backstabbers, every one of them. At least that's what my father says. They rebelled against the Patriarch before I was born, and were driven from the city. I was always told they were dead and gone. It seems I was misinformed. Well, you look capable enough, but I don't know you from Adam. Why, you might be robbers or bandits. No. Thanks all the same, but I think I'll continue to wait on the proper authorities. Frustrating though that may be. Sheriff Daisy, I will not leave until you speak to me.
We should build some more watchtowers around the garden. Dorsey slipped right past the ones we've got.
Yeah, but we'll need to pull some resources from another district to do it.
Sheriff won't like that.
Miss Wesson, could you... I'm sorry. I have to talk to these folks. Sorry about that. Are you the Rangers? We were told to expect you. Sheriff Daisy's waiting for you in the back.
Thanks, Torres.
Anytime, Marshal Kwan. Reports. Lots of reports. The Dorsey raid really tore up the town. Murder, looting, fires. They even attacked this station. Not that they got very far. It's been exhausting. It's on the back of the box. We keep the peace here in Colorado Springs. Mostly, though, we do what Sheriff Daisy says. Don't blink. Thanks. If you've got any feedback, be sure to fill out a form.
How's your family?
My mom and pa are safe. Still haven't heard from my sister. She was working near the museum when the attack started.
Jesus. Fucking Dorseys? I'm sure she's okay.
Yeah.
Sheriff wants to speak to you, Rangers.
Well, now, you must be the Rangers. I'm the sheriff around here, but you can call me Daisy. Old Saul tells me you're a bunch of badasses, and I ain't one to turn away a badass, especially at a time like this. I reckon you already heard all about the Dorsey raid, so I won't bore you with the details. Suffice it to say, we whooped 'em good, and the survivors are holed up in the Garden of the Gods with a bunch of hostages. Thing is, I lost a lot of marshals. My boys and girls are tired and beat up. You want to make some fast friends around here? You could go into the garden and speak to those Dorseys for us. Maybe find out how the hell they got into the city in the first place.
And by speak, you mean shoot the everlasting shit out of them and save those hostages, right, boss?
Quan, I hear you're some fancy liaison now. Old Saul taking my people without even asking? How dare he? Anyway, yes, you rascal. That's exactly what I mean. But question him first, you hear?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Rangers, I'd love to trade war stories, but I've got marshals calling me left and right, dead folks lying in the streets, and reports of Dorsey stragglers all over the city. Let's circle back later. Now, the Dorsey's hostages are from the fancy side of town. 100 families folk. Try to get 'em out of there alive, or I'll never hear the fucking end of it. And please, take young Miss Wesson with you. I need that girl out of my hair. In fact, I'm gonna insist. I'm telling Lupinski not to let you into the garden without her. But don't worry. She knows which end of the gun the bullets come out of. Go in there and kick some ass, Rangers.
We'll have our revenge! You ain't seen the last of us!
The deluge of blood is coming for you all!
I'm not sure why the sheriff didn't assign me marshals, but, well, beggars can't be choosers. I am the Miss Wesson she spoke of. Lucia Wesson, daughter of Percival Wesson and Maria Reyes of the 100 Families. As Sheriff Daisy told you, they and some of our neighbors were taken hostage by the Dorseys, and I mean to free them. All of them. So, I am ready when you are. It's a project of the Ward family, a showcase for their know-how. They grow food there using the latest technologies. Colorado Springs leads the world in science. But there are plenty of places to hide in the garden. The Dorseys could be laying for us anywhere. We shall have to be cautious. Certainly. My father taught me to shoot almost before I could walk, and I'm the best shot in the city.
Oh, it's true. She's a prodigy, all right. Also a pain in the ass.
No. But I have hunted. There's no need to worry that I will be shy about pulling the trigger. I promise, strangers, if it is to save my family, I will not hesitate. I know very little about you, strangers. And even if I trusted you as I would a friend, it is still my family who the Dorseys threaten. I must go. At last.